Hello, everyone. We are excited to welcome you to APH Virtual ExCEL Camp. This is problem solving. It's a pre-camp, part one of part two parts this week. And this is specifically for students with vision loss. You might be in a grade, kindergarten to seventh grade is what we have this geared for. Your instructor is excited to meet you and have fun. Veronica Copenhaver is a general education teacher out of Michigan. So while you come in and get settled, just know the purpose of our pre-camp is to get you prepped for thinking outside of the box during your STEM camp. This is a pre-camp today, and as I mentioned, we're going to come back together on Friday. You will be able to use your microphone if you choose to. You just will need to raise your hand, and we will call on you and give you that access to use your microphone. Veronica, I am so excited to say hello and to get the learning going.
Thank you, Amy. Welcome, everybody. I'm excited to be talking to you and get to spend the next hour together. But before we start, let me tell you about myself. I'm a former elementary teacher. I'm a homeschool mom. We actually finished school last week. I'm an online teacher, and I have my own podcast that I do with my sister. I'm a white woman. I have blue eyes and very straight brown hair that just hits below my shoulders. I don't wear glasses. And today, because it's still cold in Michigan, I'm wearing a gray long sleeve sweater and wool socks because I'm so cold. Today in class, don't forget to have your name on your screen. I will have the chat box open and closed so you can participate that way, or I'll ask questions and you can raise your digital hand and answer. And next time, make sure you have permission from your parents and they've filled out the form so you can turn your cameras on so I can see you and have a face to talk to rather than just looking at myself. But today, we're going to have a lot of fun. Don't ever give up if you think the question is too hard or the problem is too hard, because we're here to learn together and have fun. And don't forget, there's always a teacher in the background who will be helping run the show. Let me pull up my PowerPoint. That's the wrong slide. Let me share this with you. Let's share my screen. As I pull it up and ask you, as everyone's signing in, and I'm going to ask you a question for the chat box. That carbonated fizzy drink like Pepsi, do you call it pop? Type a number 1 in the chat box. Or do you call it soda? Type a number 2 in the chat box. Let's see. Pop or soda? I'm starting to see a lot of sodas. Oh, soda pop. I think I'm going to be outnumbered because I call it pop here in Michigan. Is there anyone else Who wants to answer in the chat box? Pop or soda? All right, let's move to the very next part, which is our vocabulary words. These are the words I want to hear you using today in class. And if you want to show your parents what you've learned and how intelligent you are, start using these words throughout the day. Our first word is problem. Shouldn't be a surprise because this is the problem-solving camp. A problem can be good or bad. It can be a question, a situation, a personal conflict. So we're going to go through good problems and bad problems today. Looking for vocabulary number 2, solution. A solution is a positive outcome or an answer to our problem. But many problems don't have a simple solution. Sometimes we have options. And today, you're going to work through some options or choices with me. Some of those options will be good, which we call an advantage. That means it's beneficial or it makes the solution better, more desirable. And we have a disadvantage. That means it's unfavorable, like thumbs down for disadvantage. Or maybe I'm showing you 2 thumbs down right now. And then finally, I'm going to teach you about a kind of thinking called deductive thinking. And maybe because this is summer camp, you've actually had some school camps with me where we've done deductive detectives. So those are our vocabulary words. I'll keep saying them for the next hour, and then hopefully you start saying them throughout the rest of the day. But we have 2 learning objectives today. The first one, students, that means you on the other side of the camera and you who are watching the recording later on can explore different types of problems. And our second learning objective is students will practice deductive reasoning skills. You're going to love this last part. I have an exciting scenario. We're going to walk through and use our deductive detective skills to find a solution. But let's go back to learning objective 1. Students, you, children, adults, everybody actually does this, can explore different types of problems. Sometimes a problem comes because you're curious and you have more questions. Like, how does this work? Could this work differently? And Robin and I were talking earlier about different problems that came up, and it actually led to some interesting inventions. So a problem doesn't always have to be bad. For example, type in the chat box if a yes or no, Y or N, if you've ever used Play-Doh, that clay type toy. I'm seeing some yeses. More yeses. All right. Did you know Play-Doh wasn't invented to be a child's plaything? It was actually created to be wallpaper cleaner. A long time ago, wallpaper was made from a different material, and Play-Doh would clean the walls. And then wallpaper changed, Play-Doh wasn't needed, so somebody said, we have all this Play-Doh, what else can we do with it? So she added something to make it smell nice and took out the cleaning part and found out kids loved playing with Play-Doh. So that was a problem that turned out with an amazing result. Or type in the chat box if you've ever used super glue, yes or no. I'm seeing some no's and a yes. Monica says she's heard of it, but hasn't used it. So let me ask this way. Maybe you haven't used it, but have you heard of super glue? Yes or no? I'm seeing some yeses and some nos. Good. But did you know super glue was another invention that came because of a different problem? It was supposed to be a clear plastic used with guns. But super glue, for those who have never used it, is very sticky and it dries quickly and you can get your fingers stuck together and it hurts to pull them apart. Super glue bonds and holds very tight as a glue. And it was too sticky to use with guns, but the scientists, the people who used super glue saw it had that strong, adhesive, sticking together quality. And you can't see it, but I'm smushing my hands together to show you how strong super glue can be. But those are two inventions that came because of a problem that was not a bad problem, but it ended up with an amazing solution. Let's ask you though. Let's pretend every day you hear a cardinal singing in your yard for 2 weeks. A cardinal is a bird, a songbird that lives in the woods here in Michigan, and the male's feathers are bright red. So every day for 2 weeks, you hear a cardinal singing. And then one day, you don't hear the cardinal anymore. Which question goes with our problem? Is it number 1, what happened to the cardinal? Or number 2, how does a cardinal fly? Type in the chat box. Is it question 1 or question 2? I'm seeing some answers come in. Everybody's doing a great job. The question that solves or helps our problem is number 1. What happened to the cardinal? Question number 2, how does a cardinal fly? Is a great question, but it doesn't help solve our problem. So as a problem solver, we have to learn the right kind of questions we want to ask. Let me stop sharing my screen and ask you now. You're going to raise your digital hand this time, because being curious can lead to lots of questions. Here's the scenario. In my town last May, turtles kept crossing one particular road. Like every time I drove down the road, I had to steer around turtles because I don't like running over animals or seeing smushed turtles. My question is for you to ask, what questions do you think I should ask? Turtles are crossing the road. What questions could you ask after seeing hundreds of turtles cross the road? Raise your digital hand.
So we have hands that are going up right now, and let's see. Let's start off with Sydney and allow Sydney to be able to talk. Let's see if I did that right. We can hear you, Sydney.
Why are turtles crossing the road?
Yes! 2 thumbs up, Sydney. Why are turtles crossing the road? Great question.
Okay, so we are going to, let's see if perhaps Maya might have something that she would like to share. So we're going to let Maya, if you want to unmute yourself, you can ask your question.
Why does the turtle cross the road?
Yes! Excellent, Maya. I'm
Thank you.
clapping.
All right, awesome. And do you want to take just one more?
Yes, let's do one more.
Okay, how about Nadia? Let's give you an opportunity to share what your question is. Let's see. Hopefully and it looks like I just need you to unmute, Nadia.
Am I unmuted?
We can hear
Hi,
you.
Nadia.
Hi. What's the favorite type to cross the road?
What's their favorite what?
Their favorite road to cross, and how many times
Oh.
they crossed it?
Excellent. What's their favorite road to cross? Yes, that's a great question. You get 2 thumbs up, Nadia.
Yep. How many times are they crossing the road?
And how many times are they crossing the road? Good. That's another great question. So we'll close down the chatting right now, because let me show you how different people asked different questions with why or what or how. We'll go back and let me share my screen. Here's another question for the chat box. And for those of you watching the recording, I hope you came up with your own question you would have asked. But today, this problem is a personal conflict. Pretend something is poking your foot. What do you do? Number 1, ignore it and hope it goes away. Or type number 2 in the chat box. Use your hand to investigate what's poking you. I'm seeing some answers coming in. Number 1, ignore it. Number 2, use your hand. Good. I'm seeing some great responses of use your hand to investigate and see what happens. Now, let me stop sharing my screen. We have options. That's part of problem solving, is having an option. One option is ignore it. But that option can lead to some disadvantages. If you ignore something that's poking you, it will continue to hurt. It could get infected. It could be bleeding. So a disadvantage is ignoring it. An advantage is number 2, feeling with your hand to stop and remove whatever's poking you. Let's go back to my screen and look at objective number 2. This is where the class is going to get more fun. We're going to solve a problem together because objective number 2 says students will practice deductive reasoning skills. In the chat box, tell me yes or no if you've ever heard of a man named Sherlock Holmes. Yes or no? If you've just heard his name, Sherlock Holmes. I'm seeing some answers. More no's than yeses. So I get the privilege of introducing you to a fictional character. And before you ask, let's make sure you know what fictional means. Fictional means not real. Sherlock Holmes is a man who is a character in stories written almost 100 years ago by a man named Sir Arthur Conan Doyle. Sir Arthur Conan Doyle wrote 60 books with a detective named Sherlock Holmes. And Sherlock Holmes used deductive thinking skills. Let's look at what deductive thinking skills means. Deductive thinking skills means you're going to gather facts, information, like Sherlock Holmes would walk in a room, maybe where a crime occurred or a problem was happening, and he would look all around the room. He would talk to the people in the room and gather evidence, facts, information. And so he would take those general facts and that general information, and then it would lead him to a specific conclusion. Or instead of conclusion, we could say a specific solution. Sherlock Holmes would often use words like certainly or absolutely. Deductive thinking goes from general information to specific solutions, and you use facts, information that is valid or invalid. That means it goes along with what we're talking about, or it doesn't. And he often could use the word therefore. Let me give you an example. First, I will stop sharing my screen. All right, here's an example. Mark is a boy who owns only green or blue shirts. He wears green or blue. Mark is wearing a shirt today. In the chat box, answer yes or no. Is Mark wearing a red shirt today? Yes or no? I'm seeing some good answers come in. Mark wears only green or blue. So would Mark be wearing a red shirt? No. Good job. Deductive thinking starts with the general, green, blue, and goes to the specific. Let's try another one. All apples are fruit. Granny Smith is a type of apple. Apples are fruit. Granny Smith is an apple. Therefore, Granny Smith is a fruit. Type yes or no. Quickly, people are answering this one. Good job. 2 thumbs up. Yes. Granny Smith is a fruit. Let's try one where you raise your digital hand. I have 2 scenarios. The first one. All the lipstick in my bag is red. The first lipstick I pull from my bag is red. Therefore, what do you know about the second lipstick I pull from my bag? Raise your digital hand and answer.
Well, Jamie was very quick. I'm going to start off with Jamie and let you have a chance to speak. All you need to do is unmute yourself, Jamie.
Maybe all of them are red because what you said was all of them are red.
Yes. So, Jamie, what color will the second lipstick be?
Red.
Yes. Very good. 2 thumbs up. All right. Let's try a different question with a new student. All our snowstorms come from the north. It's starting to snow. What can you tell me using deductive thinking? Raise your hand.
Donnie, why don't you share with us what you would say? We can, you are unmuted and go ahead and share with us.
I missed the question.
Donnie, the question is, all our snowstorms come from the north. It's starting to snow. Therefore, what do you know?
There's no snow in the south.
Good. I like your answer. There's no snow coming from the south because it's coming from the north. Excellent, Donnie. 2 thumbs up. Now, let's go back. Let me share my screen again to the question I asked you about soda or pop. I think you're all crazy calling it soda because I call it pop, but soda is actually what we need for today. Soda stands for a way to help us problem solve. Soda, S, state the problem. Ask, what is the problem? What do I want to know? What do I need to solve? Then we go to O, options. What are my choices? I'm the kind of person who likes to make lists. So I like to make a list of disadvantages, that's our D, the problems, or the things that aren't helpful. But I also like to make a list of the advantages. That's our A, the good things. And then when I've looked through all my options, my advantages and disadvantages, it shows me solutions. So next time you're drinking pop, or soda, you can think about problem solving. Today, you and I, all of us together, have a problem. I actually have cute little cards. One has a dog on it. A dog is part of our problem. So is a chicken and a bag of rice. We have a farmer. I don't have a picture of a farmer who wants to use a boat to go across the river. But he has a problem and he needs our help to go across the river in his boat. It's a small little boat and he can only take one item at a time. So his problem is how to get everything across the river. But he has to be careful because if he leaves the dog with the chicken, the dog will eat the chicken. And if he leaves the chicken with the rice, the chicken will eat the rice. So you're going to help me in the chat box figure out our options, the disadvantages and the advantages. Don't forget, use D for dog, C for chicken, and R for rice, so you don't have to type too much. And those of you watching at home, maybe mute it, pause the video, and think for yourself, what are the advantages and disadvantages? And what solutions can we come up with? Let's start. I always like to get the yucky stuff out of the way. So let's start with the disadvantages. The dog. The dog cannot be alone with the rice or the chicken. Type that in the chat box. Don't leave the dog with the rice or the chicken. Excellent. I'm seeing answers come in, and everybody is agreeing. Don't leave the dog with the chicken. All right, let's look at the chicken. The chicken cannot be alone with the dog or the rice. Ooh, I'm seeing different answers. The chicken can't be with the rice. And I'm seeing people say the chicken can't be with the dog. That makes it a little trickier. How about the rice? The rice cannot be with the dog or the chicken. Which one? Good. Everybody's agreeing this time. The rice cannot be with the chicken. Excellent. Everybody is getting 2 thumbs up. So let's look at the advantages. The dog is fine with the rice, or the chicken? I'm seeing correct answers in the chat box. The dog is fine with the rice. Good job. Now, what about the rice? Same thing, but we're turning it around and looking at it the other way. The rice is fine with the dog or the chicken. Excellent. You're already jumping ahead and answering before I even get the question out there. Good. Now, let's look at the chicken one last time. Can the chicken be with the dog or the rice? This time, answer yes or no. Good. I'm seeing no's coming in. You can't leave the chicken with the dog or the rice. That's an important clue we're figuring out as we've listed our options, which is why when you're problem solving, it's important to make those lists. So now we have a boat and a farmer. Who should the farmer take across the river? Not who, what, since they're not people. What should the farmer take across the river first? Maybe let's have two people raise their hand and answer.
Wow, hands went up really super fast. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to first of all go to Braden, and then after Braden has a chance, we'll go to Nadia. So Braden, I'm going to give you a chance to chat first with us. All you need to do is unmute.
Can you hear me?
We
Yes.
can hear you.
So I think he should take the chicken.
Yes, excellent, Braden. So, Amy, we'll just keep going through and you pick someone who can answer. The farmer will take the chicken across the river. Who does the farmer take next? Or what should the farmer do next? Amy, if you want to pick someone who wants to answer.
Nadia still has her hand raised, so let's see if she has an answer that she wants to share.
The farmer should take.
That's me and the dog.
Oh, we actually have two friends that are chatting. You know what we'll do? Maya, what did you say? And then we'll have you go back, Nadia. Maya? If you could just share what you just told us.
The dog.
You're right, Maya. The farmer will get the chicken, drop it off, and then go back and get the dog. Nadia, what should he do next?
He should get the rice.
But Nadia, if he leaves the dog on the other side with the chicken, what's going to happen while he gets the rice?
They're probably gonna eat them.
Yes! So let's see if someone else has an idea. He took the chicken across, he went and got the dog. But he can't leave the dog with the chicken. So what should he do?
Well, Donnie, let's see about you. Maybe you might have an idea, Donnie.
He should put the dog on a leash.
Donnie, that's a great option. And you're thinking outside of the box, but he doesn't have a leash today. So let's see if someone else has another idea of what he could do.
Well, how about Jamie? Jamie, do you have an idea? What do you think?
Maybe he could like take the chicken because the dog wants the chicken and have the chicken and then grab the rice and go carefully and then get them back.
Jamie, I like what you said. Yes. So he takes the chicken across and then he brings the dog, but he grabs the chicken again and then goes over back to the other side. And now he has the chicken and the rice. So now let's see let's see who can raise their hand and say what he should do now.
Wow. Okay. We have a lot of different. I'm trying to also see who maybe might not have had an opportunity to share. So what I'm going to do is Braden. Braden, what do you think?
Oh, I'm gonna turn. Okay, so I think they should go back to the farm.
Why should they go back to the farm, Braden?
So that the farmer can have a normal life again and take care of all the animals at the same time.
You're right, Braden. That's a great idea. But first, he has to get across the river before he can get back to the farm. So, do you have a thought? Or should we move to someone else, Amy?
Well, let's see if I'm going to go back just to Nadia. What do you think? Let's give you another chance to come forward. Nadia, can you unmute yourself and share?
I think he should take the dog with the rice, and the dog should eat the rice, and then he should take the animals back home to the farm.
Yes, that's a good thought, Nadia. And I kind of think I heard the solution in there. That he has the chicken and the rice. And so he's going to take the rice over to the dog. All right, let's make sure we all have the same picture in our heads. On one side of the river is the dog and the rice now, and the chickens on the beginning side. So what, after the farmer drops off the rice with the dog, what should the farmer do last? Let's see if someone raises their hand and knows how to finish this problem.
Sydney, what do you think, Sydney? What should happen?
I think that once the dog gets dropped off with the rice, the dog should eat the rice, and then he should bring over the chicken. And now the dog won't eat the chicken.
Because it's full of rice?
Yeah.
Yeah. Is that what happens in your house, Sydney? You get full on the rice and then you don't need to eat chicken?
You know. Yeah.
Maybe. Sydney, you've got half of it right. The dog's not going to eat the rice, but the farmer can now go get the chicken And then the dog, the rice, and the chicken all made it safely to the other side. Good job, everybody. Give yourself a round of applause and clap your hands. We figured out our problem by listing all our options, looking at the advantages and the disadvantages. Because guess what? Problem solving is a part of everyday life. Think about it. When you go somewhere new, you're problem solving. How do I get there? How do I cross the street? What happens if I get lost? What happens if I get there too early? What do I do with my extra time? What if I'm getting there late? What happens if I show up late? Problem solving is a part of growing up. Do you realize that even babies are problem solving? They're not asking questions. They're not raising their hand and talking, but they're exploring and being curious and wondering about things because babies are constantly putting things in their mouth. They're tasting it, they're feeling it. And that's the first step to problem solving, being curious and exploring. And don't forget, as we're wrapping up class today, you want to come back on Friday because I'll tell you about a very famous cookie that was an accident that came about and was created for the first time because of problem solving. And I don't know about you, but I love cookies. So when you come back on Friday, maybe you can try to problem solve between now and Friday. What cookie might have been created by problem solving? Today, though, we've talked about deductive thinking, finding facts, making observations, gathering evidence, and then figuring out a solution. We've talked about problems, solutions, options, advantages, and disadvantages. So tonight, when your mom or dad says, "What'd you learn today?" you can use some of those words. You can use our problem with the farmer, the dog, the chicken, and the rice, and see if your parents or maybe your siblings can solve it. But before I turn it back to Amy, let me tell you about our exciting extension activity. Decades ago, there was a TV show called MacGyver. And MacGyver was the hero of the show, and he would always be in a problem. He would have to escape, but he had to use tools that didn't always fit. He had to improvise. He had to be creative and find things that you wouldn't necessarily think of using. For example, in one episode, he made a telescope out of newspaper, a magnifying lens, and a watch crystal. So today, your extension activity is to pretend you got locked in the bathroom at your house. And you're going to use deductive thinking and make observations of 3 to 5 items in the bathroom that could help you open the door. Because everybody has a different bathroom, everybody's going to have a different items on their list. So make sure you try the extension activity. And don't forget, Friday, I'll be back. We'll talk about a different kind of thinking called inductive. And now I'll turn it back over to Amy. Goodbye, everybody.
Thank you so much, Veronica. What a joy. Great learning today. So much problem solving. I loved getting to hear from you campers as you were problem solving the situation with the farmer. And now you just get to take it one step further. You get to problem solve the situation of being locked in your bathroom and what you might be able to do to get yourself out of that. So good things are coming for you to be thinking about between now and Friday. Come back on Friday and learn a little bit more with us, and we will look forward to seeing you then. Bye, everyone.